All right, so again, yesterday we looked at slope specifically in context. Today we're going to look at slope, intercept, form in context. And so we're going to see two types of problems today. One, based on information in a word problem, can you create the equation? And then two, based on the piece of an equation they're asking about, can you figure out what it means in the context of the problem? And so when we see slope, we actually annotated this yesterday, but I want this to truly live in our notes. We need to think rate of change. Hearing some people already start to finish that. Rate of change. Very rarely in a word problem will you be told, oh, the slope is, because that's just not how context works. And so if you don't possibly see like rate of change or rate or anything like that, other options for your keywords, each, per, which we saw a lot of yesterday, and every. Each, per, and every. Now, I'll include the word rate here. If you see a rate, yeah, that's slope. Now, is this all of the words you could see? No. These are the popular ones. Now, y-intercept. We actually didn't stamp the y-intercept, and so we want to stamp that now. This is the coordinate point. 0, comma, y. With a line crosses the y-axis. The coordinate point 0, comma, y, where the line crosses the y-axis. Now, notice, what's the x value on a y-intercept? Just say it. 0. If you have a coordinate point and the x value is 0, that's a y-intercept. If it's not, it is not a y-intercept. There is no wiggle room. There is no in-between. If it is not 0, it is not a y-intercept. Keywords. There are actually more for the y-intercept than there are for the slope. And so you might see starting, initial, flat fee, original, base salary, one time. These are things that we would see in word problems that should really be setting off flags in our brain. This is a y-intercept. And even more specific, the y-intercept is tied to what letter in slope-intercept form? The y-intercept is tied to what letter in slope-intercept form? Geo. It's the b value. And so when we see things like this, right, this is our b value. Slope, a little bit more obvious in terms of like that's your m. However, that's your b value. Once you've got these, flip your notes, please. All right. Who can read example number 1 nice and loud for me, please? Gio, really loud.
Monica wants to buy a scooter. She has already saved $25 and plans to save $5 per week until she can buy the scooter. Write an equation to represent the scenario.
All right. We're writing an equation. I know I got to have something that looks like y is equal to mx plus b. The question is, how do I determine which part is which? And so we're going to break this down. First question. What is a word that you see that we just wrote down that should be important? Janaya, louder. Per. We see per right here. Now, what number is the per with? 5. Okay. And so raise your hand on this one. That means that 5 should be my what? That means that 5 should be my what, Sai? Slope. As soon as we see per, I know that that's some sort of a rate we got going on. Slope is 5. Okay. The other number we have is 25. If I have an m or a slope already, that means that 25 actually has to be what part of this? Cairo? Yeah. This means that b has to be equal to 25. Now, what I want us to think about, though, if we didn't start with slope, how else could I know that 25 was supposed to be our b value? How else could I know that 25 is supposed to be our b value? Carol.
She said she already saved.
Say it again louder.
Because she already saved 25, and she said she had plans to save $5.
Yeah, if she already has that 25, right? Think about what are the types of words that we used for keywords for Y-intercept. Janai, you got it in front of you. What's some of them? Starting, right? If we already have $25, that's our starting money. That's our initial starting value. And so this, again, comes from the idea this is a starting value. All right, I know M equal to 5, B equal to 25. Raise your hand. What's the equation? Raise your hand. What is the equation? Shamik. Plus, say it again. B, hang on, what's our B value? 25. There it is. And so this is really about noticing those vocab words or those keywords or key terms that are surrounding our numbers to build this equation. Luckily, for where we are right now, truly, like there's only 2 values you need. If you find one really quick, that means that the other one, well, just has to be the other value, right? We found slope really quick, so we knew that 25 had to be our B value. Find your quick, short wins. Any questions on example 1? All right, we're flying right through. Example 2. All right, I'm going to read example 2 because there's a few spelling errors and apologies. Kathy is a repair technician for a phone company. Each week she receives a batch of phones that need repairs. The number of phones that she has left to fix at the end of the day can be estimated with the equation y is equal to negative 23x plus 108, where y is the number of phones left and x is the number of days she has worked that week. What is the meaning of the value 108 in this equation? So, a few things here. First, I want to make sure I'm actually annotating my equation. That's important. We need to know that like that's really what we're grounding ourselves in. From here, y, number of phones left, x, number of days she has worked that week. And they ask, okay, what is 108? And so the first thing I'm actually going to do is look back at my equation. What variable is 108 in place of? What variable is 108 in place of? Janaya. That's our b value. B is equal to 108. Okay. Well, based on the words that we had written earlier, b values are what type of values? What are the keywords? Gio. It's our y-intercept. And our starting value. Oops. Okay. If 108 is our starting value, I need you to take 30 seconds and read your options. Raise your hand. What should it be? Lewis. Louder. B. That's exactly right. All right, again, starts each week. That starting value is what we are looking at. All right, I need eyes. That starting value is what we are looking at. Now, I really want to push us here, though. C and D are worded in a way. What are C and D talking about? What part of the equation would we be having to look at for C or D to be a possible answer, Sahai? This would be slope. And so this is talking about if slope was 108. It's not. We would choose C or D. Again, it's not. Those are out, but I want us to see what that would look like if it's asking us about slope. What questions do we have on notes? All right, that's it. Notes are very fast today. Fold them, get them glued in. You got 1 minute. Go.